Okay, so every business leader hits this wall at some point, right? You want to grow, you need to grow, but the idea of hiring more people, the cost, the time, the risk, it just feels like this huge roadblock. It's the classic growth dilemma. But what if there was another way? What if there was a playbook for scaling your business without scaling your payroll? Well, let's dive in.
I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you boost your capacity, maybe break into new markets, and actually increase revenue when the old-school path of just hiring more and more people is so expensive and, let's be honest, full of headaches? You are definitely not alone in asking this. And the good news is, there's a really strategic answer.
The solution isn't some magic bullet. It's a framework, and it's built on 4 foundational pillars that all support each other. Now, this isn't about cutting corners at all. It's about working smarter, building systems that can handle the pressure, and unlocking the incredible potential you already have in your business. So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through each of these pillars. We'll kick things off with technology, your efficiency engine. Then we'll talk about unlocking the talent you already have on your team. After that, we'll cover how to outsource strategically, and finally, how to empower your customers to help themselves. And then we'll tie it all together into your growth playbook. First up, Pillar 1, leveraging technology. And please, think of this less as a cost and more as your secret weapon for efficiency. This is where you build the engine that lets a small, mighty team get massive results. Get ready for this number, because it is a total game changer. According to McKinsey, workflow automation can free up over 30% of an employee's time. Just let that sink in for a second. That is more than a full day back every single week for every single person on your team. What could they accomplish with all that extra time? So how do you actually reclaim that time? You use tools built for businesses just like yours. Take Zapier, for instance. It's kind of like a bridge between all your different apps, automating simple tasks. You know, like when a new attachment comes into Gmail, automatically save it to Dropbox. Done. ClickUp uses AI to streamline project management. And for your money, QuickBooks Online automates invoicing and expense tracking. See? These aren't just tools. They're basically time machines for your business. And technology doesn't just boost your internal efficiency, it hits your bottom line hard. A good CRM system, that's customer relationship management, can increase customer retention by a staggering 27%. That's real growth that you get without hiring a single new salesperson, just by taking better care of the customers you already have. It's the most cost-effective growth there is, period. All right, let's move on to our second pillar, which builds right on top of the first one, unlocking your team. Before you even think about looking outside for new talent, look inside. Your current team is your single greatest asset, and investing in them is an incredibly powerful growth strategy. Wondering about the ROI, the financial return? Well, this number should get your attention. Research from MIT found that comprehensive staff training can deliver a massive 250% return on investment. Why? Because well-trained employees are more productive, they're more innovative, and they're way more resilient. It is one of the highest yield investments you can possibly make in your company. This quote just perfectly captures the mindset shift. Upskilling your team isn't just some HR expense or a nice-to-have. No, it's a core growth lever. When you give your team new skills, you empower them to take on bigger challenges and drive the business forward. And that often eliminates the need to hire someone new for every initiative. And that brings us perfectly to Pillar 3, outsourcing strategically. Because when you do have skill gaps, and you will, you don't always need a full-time hire. Strategic outsourcing gives you access to world-class expertise exactly when you need it, without that long-term, high-cost commitment. Let's just take the fractional executive model as an example. Instead of hiring a full-time chief marketing officer with a huge salary and benefits package, you can bring in a seasoned expert on a part-time basis. You get decades of experience to guide your strategy, but for a fraction of the cost and commitment. For a company that's trying to scale, this approach is absolutely revolutionary. And the options here are just vast. You can tap into freelancers on platforms like Upwork for specific projects. You can bring in a virtual finance office to handle all your books, or you can partner with specialized agencies for things like marketing or PR. This creates this flexible, on-demand pool of expert talent that you can draw from whenever you need it. And now for our final pillar, a strategy that honestly a lot of people overlook, empowering your customers. This is where the whole framework really comes together. Because by building a self-service ecosystem, you directly reduce the load on the team you just invested in upskilling, which frees them up even more. And crucially, this isn't about pushing your customers away. It's about meeting them where they are.
Research shows that 67% of customers prefer self-service options before they even try to contact a support agent. So you're not just saving your team's time, you're giving customers the exact experience they're looking for. It's a win-win.
Building this ecosystem is very, very achievable. You can start with a really comprehensive FAQ and knowledge base. You can implement a smart chatbot to handle common questions 24/7. Create customer portals for simple things like order tracking. If you're in B2B, a community forum can even let your customers help each other out. Every tool you add empowers your customers and frees up your team to focus on the high-value work that really drives growth.
So, we've covered technology, upskilling, outsourcing, and customer empowerment. Now, let's pull all 4 of these powerful pillars together into a simple, actionable playbook you can start using today. Here it is, your 5-step playbook for scaling without new staff. Step 1. Audit your workflows to find those repetitive, time-sucking tasks. 2. Leverage tech to automate them and do the heavy lifting. 3. Upskill your current team so they can handle more complex challenges. Remember that incredible 250% ROI? 4. Outsource smartly to fill critical gaps with on-demand experts. And finally, 5. Empower your customers with self-service tools. See how it all works together? Automation gives your newly upskilled team more time, which is then protected by smart outsourcing and a customer self-service ecosystem. It's a virtuous cycle of growth.
This 4-pillar playbook gives you the power to grow sustainably, efficiently, and intelligently. The tools are out there, the strategies are right here. Your business is absolutely ready for its next big chapter. So, the only question left is, what's your first move?